There's nobody in the world built like Giannis, and here are 3 insane stats that prove he's right up there with LeBron and Steph. Over the last 10 years, Giannis has proven to be the epitome of hard work. He started as a scrawny 190-pound forward who most scouts thought would only become the next Nicholas Batum or Corey Brewer. Yeah, you heard that right. But while he still hasn't quite figured out the perfect release to his jump shot, Giannis is still the most dominant player in the NBA. More dominant than Luka, Jokic, and LeBron. See, we've become so used to all of his 40-point games this season, we often forget he's only one of 3 players to ever have this kind of stat line in back-to-back games. Now, if you don't think that's impressive, just know the other 2 guys to ever do it played in the 60s. Oh, and right after Giannis did it, he took a game off, then dropped a career-high 55 points the next game. His high-scoring games also weren't like he was chucking up shots to get his 40, because ever since the NBA merger in 1976, Giannis is one of only 2 players to have multiple 40-25 games, while shooting 60% from the field. Now that's efficiency. But if you're one of the critics that thinks Giannis' dominance disappears in the playoffs like some players, prepare to be disappointed. Let's start with the 2022 playoffs. In the second game of the postseason and his 66th playoff game overall, Giannis passed Kareem as the all-time leading scorer in Bucks playoff history. But that's only the beginning. Fast forward to the second round, Giannis became #1 in all-time playoff triple-doubles for the Bucks. While they'd eventually lose the series to the Boston Celtics in 7 games, you can't fault Giannis' effort. And after Game 6, he became the 3rd player ever since Wilt and Shaq to post a 40-25 game in the playoffs. And in that series alone, Giannis went on to have a total of 200 points, 100 rebounds, and 50 assists. The only guy ever to do it. But this last step might be the most insane. Let's rewind back to the 2021 NBA Finals. In games 2 and 3, Giannis ended up being the 2nd player since Shaq to have consecutive games of 40 points and 10 rebounds in the finals. And in the biggest game of his career, Giannis matched the highest scoring total ever in a closeout game in the finals with 50. To top it all off, Giannis finished the finals joining Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon as the only players to ever win an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP. We all know Giannis' resume is already enough to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but if he keeps this up, a spot in the Hall of Fame would just be a bonus to being called the greatest player in the world.